Hey, what's up everyone? Johnny the Geek here. Welcome to It's Good to Be Geek. Today I'm going to be unboxing a Dell Latitude E5440 series laptop, and this is a 14-inch laptop, and so it's a Latitude 5000 series, and there are basically three different lines, right? The Latitude is the enterprise class products, and then there's the Vostros, yeah, that are the business line, and then there are the Inspiron, which is a consumer home kind of line. And so just to give you a little background, if you're looking into something like this is a little bit more, I wouldn't say, well, it's gonna have to be another video as to what the purpose of the three different series and the distinguishing characteristics of the three are. That's gonna have to be a whole different blog. If you want to see something like that, definitely leave some comments below, ask me down below, and maybe I'll answer it there, and maybe I'll make a different video blog about it. But anyways, let's get right into opening this sucker up. Not too much on the outside of it. I had to tear apart some things on here, and this is actually how it does come shipped, right, in a box like this. It's not a box within a box, and as we're gonna see, we're gonna open this up here. Just gonna give you a quick rundown of the specs. It has a Core i5 quad-core CPU running at a 1.9 gigahertz, and that can boost up to 2.5 gigahertz, and has 8 gigs of RAM, right? And so the screen is a 1080p screen, which is pretty nice. And that's about it. There is one thing that I don't like about this, and I'll tell you as soon as we get to it, right? And so let's go ahead and pull this out here. There's the laptop wrapped up all neat and nice, and there's nothing else in there except on this little pocket here there is the power plug, and they're all going towards this nice fancy looking power plug here. This hip looking power plug there. It's not very industrial anymore, right? And then there is the power cord, right? And we'll take a look at that closer in a little bit also. And what else is in here? The setup and feature information, and then the warranty and safety guides, right? And that's pretty much it. So let's take a look at the power plug here, and this is pretty much all that comes with this whole thing. There's no frills or anything like that, which I think is a good thing. You know, let's not get into the needless accessories or whatever, right? So here is the power cord, here is the adapter with the ever so popular ring light, and it's a white light for those of you who care. It used to be blue, right? And then this whole thing is wrapped up. Let's see if I can remove it, right? And the one thing that I did really like, that I used to like about the Dell power cords, is a lot of old power cords will work with various laptops or different model laptops, as long as the voltage and the amperage is the same. And so this says right here it's 90 watts, but the voltage is 19.5 and the amps is 4.62, which is similar to very many older model Dells. Not every Dell, some are take a little bit less power, and if you plug this in you could burn something out on it, but many of them take this same power. So if you had an old one laying around, old power cord, you should be able to reuse that, right? And you can leave that one at the office, one at home, and then just have one, you know, plug it in when you need it and stuff like that. Really good handy tip there, right? And then so this thing, I don't know why it doesn't seem like it comes out or anything, right? Why they would do that, but I guess it makes sense. It's would be less wear and tear on that, so it won't actually break off, right? Well, that's actually kind of neat. So this plugs into here like so, right? And this has a satiny kind of finish to it. All right, let's see how long that lasts as it gets scuffed up and chipped, right? So it's like a sort of a cylindrical kind of design. All right, enough about that. Let's talk about the laptop itself. Let's open this up. Okay, so here we have the outer part, and it is plastic. The whole thing is plastic. Not so fingerprint. My palms are kind of sweaty, greasy right now because it's kind of warm, but I don't really see any fingerprints happening, which is a good thing, actually, surprisingly, right? So plastic all around, right? And parts of it, like the bottom part here, does feel like cheap plastic, which is kind of a shame, right? Here is the battery and a dock port there. So let's go ahead and see if we can take that out, right? Here's the battery, and it is a 65 watt hour battery, and it is the VN0NF battery, whatever that means, right? For those of you who want to look that up later on, I guess. And then Windows Pro key, serial, all that stuff, whatever, yada yada. All right, and so let's look at the sides here. There's a little sticker on here. Let's take this off. Oh, actually, I have to peel this off. All right, let's take a look on the outsides and on the sides here. So we have a ventilation fan right around here, and then I'm pretty sure that's a workhorse kind of ventilation fan where it's cooling the CPU, right? And we have the power plug here. We've got a Wi-Fi, physical Wi-Fi switch to turn on and turn off the Wi-Fi. Got an HDMI out, USB 3.0 slot there. Then we have a SD memory card slot, right? So here's the blank, the cover for it. And then we have a SC, and that is for a smart card, and that's usually for security purposes. It'll be like a kind of a credit card size, and it has that little metal golden chip on the middle of the card or somewhere along the card. And so you know, that's for, you know, identity. Because this is enterprise class level, you might have like top secret espionage type of content out here, I don't know. And to let you in, you need to have that physical actual card there, and so that's what it's for. It's pretty much the only thing it could be used for. I don't think it's not like an express card slot where you can plug in very fast devices or devices that would connect to the PCI Express bus on the motherboard itself, right? So that's just smart card, that's just security purposes, right? So moving on. On the other side here, we got an optical drive, which is nice because, you know, business people probably still use discs and stuff. And then we have a headphone microphone combo jack there. We've got a USB 3.0 port, and then a standard classic VGA output, and then a Kensington lock right on the corner there, right? Kensington lock, VGA, you know, it's a legacy for those business people who are carrying around projectors or using projectors and whatnot, right? And then so on the back here, we've got a Ethernet port, gigabit Ethernet, of course, and then we have another USB 3.0. Yeah, USB 3.0 port that does support power. And I think this one right here, because it has a little icon of a plus on it, I think it powers things even though the laptop's off, right? So yeah, this is USB 3.0. I think this is USB 2.0, but it's powered, or it has extra power, like a 2 amp power to power large, like an iPad or something like that, right? And then on the front here, we have indicator lights for the Wi-Fi power, battery, whether it's charging or not, and then the hard drive LED right there, right? And then on the bottom here, we got ventilation ports all around, which is nice, right? Good ventilation there. And so let's go ahead and crack this thing open and look. You could take off the cover here for the screen, and it is a matte finish type of a screen, right? Which is nice. We've got a webcam right on top of there with a microphone built into it. Okay. And let's see if this thing will focus. Okay. So we have audio buttons right up on top here, power button on the top right here, and then a lot of function keys, right, to adjust the backlit keyboard. The keyboard is backlit, and the screen brightness, and then we have that little mouse joystick right on here. Then we have the buttons for the mouse joystick here with a middle click, right, left, middle, right click. Then we have a small trackpad, right, which is a decent size, I guess. Left and right click, right, and then but here's the thing, and I don't know if you can tell too closely in this video here, but maybe at that angle you can. But I gotta say that this is the worst keyboard that I had ever experienced on anything. Well, short of those like keyboards that you could roll up and pack away, I guess. It's kind of like that kind of a keyboard, right? And I did not expect this on an enterprise class level that's supposed to be out and about and, you know, kind of rugged and stuff like that. But you can sort of see it on here that the keyboard is like just wavy, right? And if you look up close to it, and as you type, right, it will be wavy as you're typing. And I can't really show you too well, but yeah, it is a terrible keyboard. And I'm not even a touch typist, right? I'm not that great of a typer, but I could see that for those who will be doing a lot of typing, which I could imagine business people probably have to write up reports and stuff like that, that they would not like it, right? This keyboard. So I mean, the size of it is fine, and it's not like the keys don't actuate and work. You could feel them, but like it's, you know, uneven, and if you are a touch typist, you probably glide your hand over and it would just kind of might throw you off, right? Like I said, I'm gonna have to get somebody's real typist's opinion on that sort of thing. But that's my only, it's not a deal breaker for me, just because I'm not a touch typist. I'm not super fast, right? I mean, I am sort of a touch typist a little bit, but I'm not a hunt and peck guy either. But still, I need a really good keyboard in order for me to like type really fast and good. All right, so enough about the keyboard. One thing I forgot to mention is the biometric scan that we have here, which is a cool feature. And so in terms of the battery life, I don't know. My experiences with the Dell configured software and operating system of Windows 7 is that the battery life has been terrible. And so here's a little tip for the IT guys out there that might be watching this. Get rid of the Dell operating system Windows 7 copy of it. You probably are going to do that anyways if you're in the IT industry. You're going to put it on your own version or your site license version of Windows, and I recommend that you actually do that. Some people don't do that though, even though they do have a site license of Windows 7, because it's not going to be joining any type of the company's infrastructure or network or anything like that. So they'll just typically leave it there, just install the software that they need to install on there that has to run on there, and just leave the existing software. But if you do, it'll save you a ton of trouble trying to uninstall the bloatware, trying to figure out why the battery life is like 2 hours or 2.5 hours. When you install a fresh, clean copy of Windows, and perhaps you can use the existing key if you want to stick with Windows 7 Professional, when you do a clean install, the battery life will literally double, right? And I've seen this on various, well, pretty much any of the Dell laptops that I've worked on, Latitudes as well as Vostros. I don't know about Inspiron though, but I'm pretty sure Inspiron as well. But yeah, do yourself a favor and do a clean install of the operating system. You'll save a lot of, well, you extend the battery life on it. And I've spent hours trying to just figure out why, what Dell software is messing with the battery, and I've uninstalled as much as every possible Dell bloatware that has to do with anything, right? Not just the battery Dell bloatware, but every Dell piece of software I've tried to install couldn't extend the battery life by a minute, right? Still terrible battery life, and for some reason, I actually didn't try Windows 7 Professional, but we use Windows 7 Enterprise, and that really helped out the battery life on this. So that's a pro tip for the IT guys. And so that pretty much concludes this unboxing as well as sort of overview. Anyways, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.